We have more clips of Pete Buttigieg defending electric vehicles against MAGA's onslaught, this time with a brutal takedown on the dangers of electric vehicles versus gas-powered vehicles. So as always, let's start watching a couple clips and we'll jump in where is needed with context. Hey you! Yes, you! Did you know we have memberships for as low as $3 a month? You can help the channel grow, reach new heights, and help protect democracy. And you get a long list of exclusive perks, from members-only polls to getting my videos early. The link is always in the description of every video. If you want, go ahead and check that out. And thank you guys.
It is a fact that preventing harmful pollution in the US will save lives.
Have you done any calculations, given the current rate of fires that occur, and these fires, as reports indicate, take hundreds of thousands of liters of water to extinguish when an electric vehicle catches fire? Do you have any research that indicates how many people might die from some of these fires?
I haven't seen a projection of that. I'm sure you're aware that flammable liquids are also a safety concern, and either way, we work to make sure that they are handled in a safe fashion.
We're not seeing the reports of vehicles, like an epidemic of regular gasoline vehicles catching fire.
You're not?
Across the United States.
You've never heard of gasoline fires in
Does it take
vehicles?
150,000 liters of water to put out?
Are you familiar with what happened to the I-95 bridge? Let me assure you that the use of flammable liquids to propel hundreds of millions of vehicles includes hazards.
What Pete's talking about there in terms of I-95 was a tractor trailer carrying thousands of gallons of gasoline exploding on the highway or interstate, damaging the bridge to the point that it needed closed for an extended period of time. And something that was definitely surprising to me to find out, and I'm sure it will be to most as well, is that almost 300,000 gas cars catch fire every single year, which, by the way, dwarfs the amount of EV car fires per capita, by the way. We're not just talking about total amount. EV cars catch fire roughly 25 for every 100,000 sold, while cars with gas in them, straight gas vehicles, are 1,500 per 100,000 sold, and hybrids that, again, still use gas, were 3,500 per 100,000 sold. So this is a pretty bad hill for the MAGA Republican to die on, as gas-powered cars are far more dangerous in this respect. Like, it's not even close.
Let me also make you aware that the American Chemical Society estimates that 9,700 Americans a year die from the pollution associated with passenger vehicle use in this country.
Let me ask this question. There's been reports of individuals who have been locked in an electric vehicle. There was a recent story. Renee Sanchez found her 20-month-old granddaughter stuck in an electric vehicle in the heat. The battery had died, and they couldn't get the child out. They had to call and get firefighters to come break the glass in order to get the child out. Just recently, last year, Secretary Granholm had an embarrassing incident where she had a PR tour that went south.
So what he's doing here is a sly trick that MAGA usually employs when they can no longer argue on the grounds of data. I mean, most of the things they argue on, data isn't on their side. He's using anecdotes instead. Anecdotes, however, are nowhere near as useful as evidence and statistical data. Quickly, to put it into context, is why I could walk outside of my house right now and look around and say, the world looks flat. That must mean that the earth is flat. But that would be flawed, because through analysis of data and evidence, I could reach the objective conclusion, the factual conclusion, that the world is round. This is why data always will trump anecdotes. And as I showed you, as Pete spoke to, gas-powered vehicles are far more dangerous by any metric. Directly, by more explosions and more fires caused per year, but also indirectly, as he also pointed out, that almost 10,000 deaths a year can be attributed just from the pollution that these vehicles cause.
I imagine you're aware that the number of publicly available chargers has nearly doubled since we took office, and we're investing to fill in the gaps. Now, 80% plus of charging happens at home, but for the rest of it, that's where those public chargers are so important. But we've just never been the kind of country that holds on to old technology because we're working on problems with the new technology.
The American people are seeing what's happening, and they have serious concerns. And yet we're pushing ever more toward in this direction. And I don't know that we're actually taking into consideration the human costs that these are also bringing with them. The potential for batteries to die, people to be stranded in places without air conditioning, without support. And I would think that your administration would want to have those facts as well. How many people might die because of fires occurring from these batteries?
A battery dying is a problem, just like running out of gas is a problem, which is why we're investing in addressing that. I've just never thought of that as an excuse to hang on to dirty and expensive fuels and old technology.
Okay, so this part was a complete body bag. There are over 60,000 charging stations in America currently, with the majority being built under Biden and Buttigieg. And if batteries dying are a problem, you would think Republicans would then stop blocking funding to build more. But running out of gas is also a problem, yet you don't see Republicans attempting to get rid of gas-powered vehicles. The truth of the matter is that they're trying to take any little minute issue and make it seem like an absolute deal breaker and the reason that these electric vehicles can't happen, when in reality, the problems with electric vehicles are fewer and far between than you see with gas-powered vehicles, and these cars are much better for the environment. So what it really boils down to is Republicans are just in the pocket of big oil. That's where they get the majority of their donations. So they're going to refuse to allow funding for something that will ultimately put them out of business, even though it would be much better for Americans and America. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together. Peace.